Hi everybody, it's Tony and I'm back with another video. Today it is Sunday, November 27th. I hope you've had a great weekend so far. Today I would like to react to something called the Heart Attack Grill. I don't know if you've ever heard of this place or not, but I actually found out about it as I was scrolling through YouTube and looking for something to watch. And there's this YouTuber who has a mukbang channel. I don't know if you know what mukbang is, but these people will get on the camera and they will just eat a ton of food, and for some reason they get a lot of subscriptions, they get a lot of views, a lot of likes, a lot of comments. So people really enjoy watching other people eat food on YouTube. I don't get it, but I guess it's their thing and whatever. But this one particular YouTuber, he went to the Heart Attack Grill with a friend, and the two of them were very sizably overweight, and they were eating some of the biggest portions I've ever seen in my entire life. We're talking like an 8-patty burger that was over 4 or 5 pounds worth of meat, and they had a massive hot dog, and they had a huge order of what they call flatliner fries full of chili and cheese, just appetizers, and then on top of it they had butterfat shakes. And it was just crazy the amount of food that they ate. And I'm not going to react to that video, but I'm going to react to just a ABC News report on the Heart Attack Grill and some of the things that has actually happened there. I thought it was very interesting and very sad at the same time, just some of the stuff that happens at the Heart Attack Grill. So I'm going to start reacting to it right now.
At most restaurants, having 3 customers suffer heart attacks after eating at the establishment would be a source of great concern and shame, something to be minimized and explained away.
Heart attacks,
Not
wow.
at one spot, where they actually promote how unhealthy it is, offering free meals to its most obese patrons, and even celebrating a death on the premises. It's aptly named the Heart Attack Grill. We sent ABC's Ryan Owens to check out their new digs in none other than Sin City. In a country where calories are posted like warnings on restaurant menus, where unhealthy school lunches are under fire, and where our First Lady has a vegetable garden,
this was from 9 years ago.
Alternative reality, and it looks like this. This monument to greasy gluttony,
almost there,
Almost done with this single bypass,
is called the Heart Attack Grill.
Taste worth dying for.
A defiant throwback to a pre-health obsessed America. A kind of hospital-themed Hooters, located where else? Sin City. But as you're about to find out, eater beware. This restaurant can literally be hazardous to your heart. Remarkably, the owner says it's all done in the name of promoting good health.
one among us has to tell the truth. And that's what we're doing here.
Tell the truth of
The
what?
Heart Attack Grill prides itself on pushing limits, along with belt sizes. Diners must wear hospital gowns. People 350 pounds plus eat free.
They're celebrating people being over 350 pounds?
Their flatliner fries, cooked in lard, are unlimited.
They just
Thirsty?
cheered that
Try
lady
the
because she was over
all-butterfat
400
shake.
pounds.
Or maybe a shot of vodka served in a prescription pill bottle. And new to this menu, a burger with 8 patties, almost 20,000 calories. That's the equivalent of nearly 40 Big Macs. Oh, and if you don't finish your meal, you get spanked by a nurse. She's not exactly a real RN, but her spankings are real hard. The restaurant and all of its repulsive excess seems right at home among the tourist traps in downtown Las Vegas. Its owner, perhaps the ultimate Vegas showman,
Are you going to finish your burger next time?
yeah, I'll try.
is John Basso.
So if
As
they
part
don't
of his
finish their
act,
food,
he likes to
they
be
get
called
spanked.
Dr. John.
Now breathe in for me.
Dr. John has become something of a superstar in the fast food world. In his trademark over-the-top way, he depicts himself as Jesus Christ at the Last Supper, dining with the industry's other giants.
Now let's send this on out.
He's certainly come a long way since I first met him almost 3 years ago at his first Heart Attack Grill outside Phoenix, Arizona. Back then, the restaurant was under fire after its nearly 600-pound spokesman, Blair Rivers, died of obesity-related issues. he was just 29. There's an
Wow.
argument to be made that you
29.
used this guy during his life, and that now you are very morbidly using his death to continue to promote your restaurant.
I absolutely agree.
He's
And in a very sick
unapologetic.
way, his death has gotten the message out further.
So this man's death has not given you pause at all.
Zero pause. You guys, we are actually rolling now. Actually rolling.
Dr. John's Vegas location
Dr.
is double
John.
the size of his old place in Arizona, and his in-house fatality rate, it hasn't slowed a bit. How many people have actually had heart attacks in the room that we're sitting in?
In the room that we're sitting in, we've had 3 heart attacks.
And how many people have died?
1. Now, I would like to say that the other 2, I did the grandest of favors for, because they now uniquely and in a very real way understand their own genetic shortcomings. Now, the one that I couldn't save was a very dear friend of mine. And I want to tell you something. They'll say it's grotesque. They'll say,
Yes, they will.
how can you keep the man's cremation here? And I'll tell you
What?
something. I am setting the bag on the table. And I challenge any other restaurant to set the bag on the table. I'm talking about a bag of truth, about what's not
That
going to
is
happen
horrible.
if you don't listen to me. This will happen. This was a good man with hopes and dreams who couldn't control his eating habits.
Inside this bag are the remains of yet another spokesman.
He
John
enabled
Hillman.
him to eat that way.
He ate at the restaurant every day. But people are actually dying. So that's kind of where the gig has to stop. What do you say?
People are dying. People will continue to die. Can they just stop, pause, and reflect upon the food for thought that I'm selling? It's not hamburgers, it's not t-shirts, it's not french fries. I'm selling you food for thought and a good laugh. Let's all have a good time. But let's really digest this. Let's think a bit. Or we're going to end up exactly like my friend in the bag.
Until then, Dr. John is the first to admit heart attacks are part of his business model. When there are lights and sirens outside and they're bringing some person out on a gurney, you're basically in the back room counting money at that point.
Absolutely. Was that heart attack good for business? Did that heart attack pad my wallet with money? Absolutely. Did I
How
enjoy
is he
that?
making money from people having heart
Absolutely.
attacks and dying?
I'm a businessman.
Who
first
will
and
look at that
foremost.
and
Let's
say,
be
I
clear
want to
about
go
something.
and
I'm
eat there?
not peddling hamburgers to small children without parental guidance. These are adults purchasing a legal substance from me. I want one and only one thing. I want my message out there loud and clear. I am a believer that when people hear my message, the net health benefit to society is incredibly good.
It's true that before he
Good.
served up artery-clogging, gut-churning meals, he ran fitness clubs and diet centers. But real nutritionists aren't buying a word out of this fake doctor's mouth.
It sounds to me like he's appealing to very base instincts and certainly playing into people's enormous resentment about being told what to eat. If he's making a living and making money doing this, obviously there are people who really respond to this, and he's marketing to them.
He must not have been making money at the diet clinics.
Our restaurant serves bad for you food. Other restaurants serve bad for you food. We're honest, they're not. Plain and simple, if everybody collectively got together and told the world all restaurant food is bad for you, then maybe we would save a few lives. Because I don't want to see people dead. Now, if they do die here, I'm not going to lie to you. That's great for business. I'll say it again. Death is great for business at the Heart Attack Grill.
Somehow, in the 3 years since we first
How
met,
though? How is it
Dr.
good?
John has found a way to be even more exploitive. He recently hired a very short nurse who speeds around in a mini ambulance delivering beers.
Coming to Hag has its perks.
Mike's my hero.
He also found a new spokesman for the restaurant. 460-pound Mike Lee just suffered his first heart attack, but he's still alive and chilling.
How you doing on the program, Mike?
Great.
And while people keep dying, the Heart Attack Grill keeps thriving.
We've both doubled in terms of money, in terms of square footage, but we've exponentially grown when you want to talk about extending the message.
Dr. John hopes to continue to grow and expand his morbid message to an even bigger audience, perhaps in a city near you.
Fine, son, keep eating.
I'm Ryan Owens for Nightline in Las Vegas.
All right, that was the clip, and I'm just absolutely speechless. I don't know what to think here. Like, I guess there's two thoughts that come to mind. One is, I don't understand how this guy is continuing to double his profits. They call him Dr. John, who owns the business, and he did own a lot of weight loss centers and clinics, it said in the video, and I guess that wasn't making enough money, so he decided he was going to do the flip and start serving massively big portions, cooked in lard, big huge sides full of chili and cheese and whatever, God knows what else. And he's doing it in a way that is doubling his business, despite the fact that people are literally dying in his restaurant. They're literally having heart attacks in his restaurant, and yet somehow that's, according to him, it's good for business, and people are continuing to come back and they're filling up the joint. It's baffling to me. Like, I'm having a loss of words trying to put into context exactly what I just saw. These massive, huge burgers with 8 patties on it, and people are ordering that thing. That's the burger that the guy was eating in the mukbang video. Like, that's 20,000 calories. And he ate like half of it. And his goal was to come back and finish it next time. Like, it's 20,000 calorie burger. That does not include the fries and the hot dog and the butterfat milkshake and everything else that he ate. Like, it's really disheartening. I actually left a comment on one of the videos. I'm like, I just had bariatric surgery. Like, you do not want to keep going down this path. You don't. And these weren't skinny people who were just going there once as a novelty. Like, if you're over 350 pounds, you get to eat free there. And this guy had continued to go there and visit several times and do his mukbang videos. And he's taking his friend, who is so big that she can barely walk. She's over 500 pounds, and she's stuck in her house. And I'm trying to tell him, I'm like, you don't want to keep going down this path. Like, you need to stop right where you're at. He was like 210 pounds when he went the very first time. And then a few months later, maybe a year or so later, he was up to 300 and close to 370 pounds. Like, he had gained well over 100 pounds doing his mukbang videos, and he was just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, and I feel like a hypocrite saying that, because that was my lifestyle. Like, I would have probably given anything to go to this place. I would have been excited. Like, I would have put it on my bucket list, and it might have been the last thing that I ever did. But yeah, I feel like a hypocrite saying all this. I'm not trying to be self-righteous, but it's like, these people do not understand what they're doing to themselves. Like, most of them are not 671 pounds like I used to be. Most of them are not, like, so severely in pain because they are so big they cannot get up and do anything. Like, they can still get up and walk around and do things, but gaining 100 pounds and getting to 370 and pushing that 400 pound mark, it's like, you don't realize what you're doing. You need to stop now. Like, I want to, like, shake him by the shoulders and tell him, like, you don't understand what you're doing to your body. And on the other side of that coin is what Dr. John said about, he doesn't need to give people permission to go in there and eat. Like, they choose to do that on their own. Like, this kid that did this mukbang video, going to the Heart Attack Grill a few times did not make him gain over 100 pounds in a year. Most of the people who go there who are over 350 and they get their free meal, like, they've been eating that way for a very long time. And so this restaurant sort of highlights the height of gluttony. Like, it's just one meal. Like, it's a blip on the radar of what we've been doing to ourselves for decades. And I'm talking about America in general. Like, this is the most America thing I've ever seen in my life. Just the amount of gluttony in this restaurant. And again, I'm trying so hard not to be self-righteous, but I also get the message where it's on the doors. Like, this restaurant is dangerous for you. Eat at your own risk. Like, people have died here. People have heart attacks here. But those heart attacks and the people who've died there, again, they've been there once or twice. It's not like, well, the one spokesperson ate there every single day because he was over the weight, and so you can eat there free if you're over a certain weight. But it's mind-boggling that you could see that somebody died there. 2 of their spokespersons have died. They've had multiple heart attacks. He's got a bag of ashes on the table saying, this is your future if you eat here. And they continue to go there, and he's making more money than ever. Like, it's filthy to me. Now that I'm on this side of it, like, this pumps me up even more. Like, I want to keep fighting. Like, I never want to get back there again. Like, there's just some kind of something that takes over you that you just want to eat like this forever, and it's just so enticing to want to keep that up until you get to a point where you just literally cannot walk anymore, and it's devastating. I'm telling you, if you are struggling with your weight right now, if you saw this clip and it attracted you to it, and you're like, man, I just want to go back there and I would love to eat at the Heart Attack Grill, don't do it, man. Like, I can watch Man vs. Food and Man Meets Beard, or Beard Meets Food, whatever his channel name is. All these like different food challenge channels on YouTube. Like, it's appalling to me the amount of food these people eat. Now, some of these world-class eaters, I guess you can say, you know, they eat once per day. Maybe they fast for a few days. They work out, so they're really skinny, and yet they eat these massive portions. So they know what they're doing. They're protecting their health. They're not gaining weight, but just the absolute gluttony. If you're going to eat like that and you're not going to work out and you're just going to glorify that kind of living, I'm sorry. I'm out of words for what I can say about what I just watched. I guess that's my reaction for today. I don't know. I'm sorry. My brain is just like not fathoming what I just witnessed. But anyway, I guess if you could leave me a like, a comment, maybe subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll definitely do more of these reactions. Yeah, if you have any comments about the Heart Attack Grill, maybe I'm off here. You know, maybe it's, I don't know. If you have anything to add, please leave a comment. I'd greatly appreciate it. I guess I'm gonna let you go. I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday.